trains, trucks to parachute planes. Let's see where we drift to, buffers in reverse, road signs wrecked. It's CK gaming time. Driving trains, trucks to parachute planes. Let's see where we drift to, buffers in reverse, road signs wrecked. It's CK gaming time. Driving trains, taking to stations, forgetting to stop. Driving through red lights, bad buffer stops. It's time for CK Sim Gaming. CK Sim Gaming time. CK Sim Gaming. Driving through stations, forgetting to stop. Driving through red lights, bad buffer stops. It's time for CK Sim Gaming.
Hello everyone, welcome to another stream. Going to be trying something a little bit different today in regards to streaming. I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, which should be interesting. Now I'm hoping that I'll be able to see chat from both as well, but we'll have to see. This is all sort of new to me, beg pardon. Anyway, so we're going to be doing a little bit of driving today in another sim that I've streamed before in the past, with a Class 377 going from London Bridge to Brighton, semi-fast service. It is a train sim and it's not a train sim. It's just hard to explain. I mean, it's like watching a video, but you drive in the video. But you'll see. Some of you might have seen me stream this in the past already. So anyway, without further ado, let's get over to it, and we'll go from there, and yeah, we'll to see what happens really as we get on. I'll just wait for the screen to come up. There we go. So you should be seeing it in front of you right now. So we're in a cab of a Class 377, and we're at London Bridge, and so we have all the bits and pieces on the screen in front of me. I've got the speedo and the reverser and things, so see how it goes. So we're departing at 16:14. Just got to remember how this works. Hey Egbert, how are you? See you popped up, that's nice. I hope you can hear me alright. Let me know if you can't. Well, if you can't hear me, You won't be able to reply anyway, because you won't hear me talking. But all clear. Thank you, Egbert. I hope the noise of the train isn't too loud. We'll see what happens as time goes on. So yeah, doing a bit of experiment today. I'm streaming on Twitch and YouTube at the same time. See how it goes. New job? What do you mean by new job? Oh, you mean the yes. I know what you mean now. This is real. No. I'd get the sack. Right. Anyway, let's get going. First stop is should be hopefully East Croydon. At least the window is zoomed in a bit. Anyway, we're gonna head to Brighton. Yeah, first stop is East Croydon, which we've got to get there in 1626. How are you anyway, Egbert? Hope you're well. Egbert there on Twitch. I'm hoping that if someone types in YouTube, it'll show up on here as well, which is really good if I can see both. I've played this before, but seeing people stream a Japanese one made me think about streaming this. Yes, thank you. I did do a stream last week as well, just a short one though, on Twitch I think it was. I was driving from Barnstaple to Exeter in a Pacer. Oh, you was away, were you? Did you go to the Isle of Wight again, or did you manage to sneak into Katie's hand baggage? Oh, you went to Centre Parks. Oh, nice. That's cool. Going a bit quick here. I was getting me brakes and throttle mixed up. Katie threw you out. Yeah, some members of my family go to Centre Parks as well. I'm trying to think which one they go to. I think they go to different ones, but all sort of located in the southern half of the country. And those of you that have watched my drifting streams have seen us nearly land in the Centre Parks. I think there was the Centre Parks at Longleat we almost landed in once. We went that way. Right, anyway, so we're going from London Bridge to Brighton, so this is the usual sort of view that you'd get, as in the normal Victoria to So we're just coming up to New Cross Gate in a minute. Just going past the Sainsbury's there on the right. So this is New Cross Gate. You see some overground services here as well. Next stop is Brockley. Don't ask me what all the other stations are though, I can't remember. I only know this one's Brockley because I used to visit a friend here that lived in, this was the nearest station to where they lived, so I used to go in now and again. When we get to Norwood Junction, I remember that one. So we're on the fast line at the moment with an incredible top speed of 70 miles per hour. Hear the horn. That's very art of noise, that is. If you don't know art of noise or know what I mean. It's like a sample from an art of noise song. Right. Bom, 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 bom. I think like Forest Gate and things are some of the stations, if I remember, but it says that our train is heavy, because what it does is it also simulates loads, so if you've got a heavy load it takes longer to accelerate on the top. Piers, is this Train Sim Classic? No, I can't remember the name of it now. Something 377. It's just basically where you're playing a cab video, basically. So you play a cab video and you basically control it. How are you anyway, Piers? Good to see you. I should have said what it was in the title, but because I'm using Restream, I've not used it before, so it's a little bit different to set up things than it is more the norm. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. Sorry about that. It's called, yeah, Train Operator 377. It's called. That's the name of the title. You can find it on Twitch, on Steam, sorry. It's not very expensive. You can download a demo of it as well, and I think it has like a little bit of the route that you can drive along. So basically what it is you get like you get the route from Brighton to London Bridge, and basically the route from London Bridge to Brighton. There's two separate like cab videos, but then you kind of they're interactive in a way. So the signals have been changed a little bit. So but it's more or less a cab video, which you can just basically control, you know, forward and backwards on. But it's a little bit different. I think this is how they used to sometimes train drivers years ago, when laser discs and that were a thing, you know, where you could have a cab with a projector or whatever. But obviously train simulations are quite good for this kind of game, because obviously you're on a track, whereas obviously you can't really do this sort of thing with like other sort of games, because obviously driving games you go left and right, so you can't really just play a video of those. But for things like trains or trams, I think it's an interesting idea, although it's like everything, you know, my problem with it when playing this before is the fact that, you know, because you're just playing a video, then obviously if you drive up and down the route a few times, it does get a bit repetitive, because you see the same things going on, the same trains, the same passengers and that, because it's just a video. But for the odd drive when you haven't played it for a little while, it's not too bad. There is Japanese simulators you can get like this as well, where you're driving a lot of Japanese routes. Kada, who has been streaming a lot of those recently. But you can change the time of day on here, and you can make it rain and things, which I think they just use filters, so at night time they just obviously apply a filter just to make the video screen look darker. Coming into East Croydon now. Trying to think when this was set. Probably, I mean, the class 442s, the Gatwick Express, was still operating, so that sort of puts it back to a certain time as well. But this was like the modern version of East Croydon at the time, because they've got the new stairs and that in. Just got to try and stop at the right point. Which I think is about here somewhere. I think this is the 428. Yeah, this is it. There we go. Right. That's for the doors. So yeah, you just get a front view really. You can change a couple of camera angles, but it's just the same video, and I think you can change you can zoom out a little bit. Like so. If you want to have a little bit more of the screen. So we're departing at 16:26, so we might as well go now. And then our next stop will probably be Gatwick. So it says that we're 68% load now, so we've obviously had some passengers get off at East Croydon, and we'll be heading towards Gatwick, I think, now. But yeah, it's a little bit different. As I said, I've streamed this before. You can sometimes pick this up in a Steam sale for probably about 5, 6, 7 quid. I was hoping that the person that did these was going to do some more over time, but they've sort of like just stuck with this one for now, because there are a lot of cab videos out there, you know, East Coast Main Line and things. You know, would have been quite cool to have like an HST one, for example, between like Paddington and Bristol or something, or a Class 47 or something. Or, you know, modern day, you know, freight train. But this seems to be the only one that you you can get for the UK. As I said, there's a company that does them for Japanese railways. Got quite a lot of those. Right, we've got double yellows, so just got to keep an eye out in case we've got another yellow coming up. So we've got a red light coming up, and you can see it affects the video, because I think normally the video would have been running, but because of the signal that they put in, I think it's just to give it a bit of variety. I think it's probably because I'm doing this. I've set this so that it was set at 4 o'clock, so it might be a bit busier, but you can see now that we're just sort of like paused on a video, and you can see there's a train ahead of me that's stopped as well, because obviously that's part of the video as well. So we'll just have to sit and wait for the signal to change, hopefully. Now there is a button that I can do for the DRA, so I've just got to find that. Let's see if I can find the DRA button. I think it's Z. Yeah, there we go. So I've got the DRA on now. And then I can press Z to turn it on and off. Can do the washer as well, the wiper. I just want to put a little bit of washer on, something you can't do in Train Sim world. Train Sim. I've just got to sit here and wait for the signal now. I'm not sure how long this is going to take. I don't know if I can move up to the signal a little bit. Oh, there we go. It'd have been nice if they'd actually got a proper 377 horn sound as well, but that's just being nitpicky. Right, anyway, I think we can go up to 90 now. Now the other train on the right is going to move again, because we're... It's the only thing about this is this, but as I said, it's quite interesting to stream now and again, just for the different, variety in a way. Anyway, it's made us late. So we've got to be at Gatwick in 8 minutes. I don't think we'll get there, but never know. Right, I think this is Purley. I can't remember which way round it is. I think that might have been Purley Oats. So yeah, I was just trying out Restream today, so I just wanted to see what it was like. So it's just so that I can stream on YouTube and Twitch at the same time, and then there's chat there as well for both. So, and if you pay for Restream a month, then you can get access to more streaming services. So you can have like free. I think you can do free at a time if you want to, because at the moment you can only do with the free version. There's a watermark I think you get on the screen, and then you can choose to use different services. So I chose YouTube and Twitch. But if you pay, I think it's I can't remember how much it is a month. You can then, for example, stream on another service. So if I wanted to, you know, you could do TikTok as well, or whatever. So you could do free at a time. I don't know how TikTok would work for this sort of format, because everything is sort of vertical, isn't it, for phone screen. So I don't know how that would work. Supposed to be at Gatwick in 4 minutes, and we've got 14 kilometres to do. I don't think that's going to be happening anytime soon. Just on the line down to Brighton now. We might be quite close to getting it. We're 7 kilometres away now. Go back up to 90 again. So yeah, I think we might be a few minutes late, but not too bad. back up to 90. So yeah, you can see that the Gatwick Expresses were still operated by the 442s though, so it's a few years old now, the video that they've based this on, but not, not too old. Start slowing down soon as we head towards Hawley. Hawley now. To start slowing down to go to Gatwick. Yellow. So yeah, the video quality isn't as good as some of the Japanese routes, although they're quite expensive as well. I think they're like 20 to 25 quid each. Have to look for the 8-car marker on here. Not too bad actually, only a couple of minutes late, which for me is not too bad really, is it? Try and remember where the 8-car marker is along here. I think it's just coming up underneath this bridge here. There you go. Open the doors. Okay, it's parked and ready. Right, next stop will probably be Three Bridges. I'm not sure though. It did say it was a semi-fast, so if not, it might be Haywards Heath, perhaps. We'll see in a minute. You can choose whether or not you want to do a semi-fast or an express or a fast service as well when you start this off. Hello Dave. How are you? Dave on Twitch. I'm streaming on YouTube and Twitch at the minute, so if I say Dave on Twitch, it's only because there's two different chats coming up. One for YouTube, one for Twitch, so. Right, so next stop is Three Bridges. due at Three Bridges at 45. As I said, we're already running late though due to that bit signal between East Croydon and Gatwick. Start slowing down in a minute. It says we're quite heavy now, 106%. So a lot of people standing, it seems, since when we stopped at Gatwick. Find the 8-car marker on here as well. I think after this we stop at Haywards Heath, and then it might be all stops to Brighton more or less. Apart from Wibblesfield, I've got a feeling, but we'll see. We're not doing too bad, we're only a minute late. Managed to make some time up, which was good. Hey Rogue Squadron, how are you? Oh, I think I went past the marker there, never mind. Right, so here we are at Three Bridges. You're alright, are you? That's good to hear. Yeah, just playing a little bit of Train Operator 377. I think it's just been watching Carter playing some of his Japan routes. It made me play this one again. Just a quick journey from London Bridge to Brighton now. Funny looking TS. Yeah, I'm wondering if it's coming up. I'm using Restream, so I'm wondering if it's sort of still comes up as TrainSim Classic. I do apologise if it's saying that. It's just because I've never used Restream before, and I couldn't see somewhere in Restream where I could change my game title. So I'm wondering if it's coming up with TrainSim Classic instead. So apologies if that's the case. Could be worse. It could have been. Could have been Microsoft Flight Simulator, but luckily I think it was because the last thing I streamed on Twitch was TrainSim Classic, so I'll have to see if I can change that once the video's sort of like as a VOD. Then again, people do that in Flight Sim, don't they, really? So we're going to be stopping at Balkan. People do that in Flight Sim, you know, they'll play P3D and then they'll title it as Microsoft Flight Simulator because they know they'll get more viewers then, because they know if they put it as P3D there won't be hardly anyone watching. Skillish and more like, yeah, and a bit of that as well. I'm only trying Restream out for the first time. It's a pain in the bum because you have to re-register lots of things, and then you have to keep putting in lots of username passwords to link accounts to your YouTube and your Twitch. And on OBS I could edit the thing, but there wasn't anything on OBS where I could edit the game title. But anyway, I think it's the same on YouTube as well, because as I said, someone on the YouTube chat mentioned it as well, so I'll have to try and edit it in the video manager afterwards and just change the game title in there. But We're heading towards Brighton now. So yeah, this is just train operator 377. I mean, I could have trolled you all and said this was the Train Simulator Classic 2025. This is the new Train Sim Classic, as if. The video isn't as good. The video quality isn't as good as the ones on the Japanese routes, though. If you want to see what they're like, Carter's been streaming them. So if you go to Carter's Twitch channel, you can watch his videos back where he's been playing the last few days. The Balkan Tunnel. So quite a few people got off at Three Bridges then. So it's now saying we're about 68% full. There's a lot of rain in that tunnel there, the puddles. Yeah, I mean the best person if you want advice about Netherlands routes is to watch Rupku, a Dutch streamer for Train Sim Classic. I mean, Carter's also been messing about with Dutch routes as well, so he's quite handy to talk to. But I think a lot of the Dutch train routes, they use Chris Trains, which is a developer. So I think you have to have a lot of the Chris Trains things to, otherwise you're not going to have many trains to drive. And I think Chris Trains is a bit like an Armstrong powerhouse, as in, like, you have to buy a lot of things, a lot of trains and things aren't cheap. Oh, you got his flirt, okay. But I know they do things. I mean, I think the only time I've ever used Chris Trains is because he did a freeware jet train, if I remember. I don't know if he still does that as a freeware on his site. Although I kind of preferred the Super 47 if you wanted to do crazy stuff. I mean, I told Carter about the new Dutch route yesterday, and he seemed to think it wasn't a very long route. Now, I looked it up. I think it was about 35 kilometres, which is what, 20 odd miles or so. So it's not a very long route, whatever it will be. But like I said to Carter at the time, the positive out of it though is that if it's a Dutch route, there'll be assets. So if people are making freeware routes, they'll have assets. They might have some good assets they can take from that route to put in their own routes. So in a good way, it'll be good for that, in a way. You know, there's a lot of routes that come out on Train Sim which have been routes, you know, that, for example, I've never wanted to play, but because a freeware route, there's been a freeware route that might use assets from a route, then I end up buying it. I mean, there's been a few routes like that. For example, Stainmore, the steam engine route, sort of set in the northern part of England, that's sort of like around the Lake District area. That's quite a popular route for people that like steam engines, but it's never been, you know, something I've ever wanted to do. And then when OTS bought out the Cumbrian Coast route, the freeware route, some of the assets were from Stainmore, so I ended up buying Stainmore just to use the assets from that in the Cumbrian Coast route, for example. Got some German repaints, that's cool. Gonna make coffee, was up all night, just go out of bed, no worries. Hayward Heath is the next stop, which is due at 16:58. But yeah, you are right, Dave. It is a skills issue for sure. I have to try and work out where I put that in, because OBS only allowed you to basically put in the title and a description. It didn't actually allow you to change the game title. But I might have to go into the Restream site itself and do that, whereas I was just using the interface on OBS. So right, we should be going over the viaduct in a minute. Been over this many times. Unfortunately, knowing this for time, I can't get out of the cab and show us driving past, because obviously we're just driving in a video, so there isn't any other views apart from this view. Got double yellows, so I have to start slowing down a little bit. Up to 60. It might make me sit outside Haywards Heath Station for a couple of minutes, which is why I'm being a little bit cautious. Yeah, so we've got a yellow, so let's start slowing down a little bit more now. Hopefully we won't go through the red. Got a yellow, that's good. Useless, what is? Me not doing the stream tile, yeah, I know. That's one reason why I'm cheap, Dave. That's why I come ad free and nobody has to pay to sub to me for a month, because obviously, you know, you get cheap. you get ad free. Well, you have to put up with the cheapness, not like other streamers who might have songs that you can listen to, or emotes or games or things. See. Hey, Stink Fan Man, hello, how are you? Just coming into Haywards Heath. Just got to try and work out where the 8-car marker is along here. At least it's got the footbridge on here. I haven't got any idea where this 8-car marker is. I think it's just up here. And they got the car park as well in the side, the multi-story. Here we go, right. So we were due at Haywards Heath at 58ish, so that's quite good. Oh no, we've only got, it's got heavy now, 70, 80%. Yeah, you can sort of see on there. So we're getting quite a few people boarding the train now. At least in this game, the passengers aren't trying to walk across the track. No. Yeah. It's 88% now. Right, I've got no idea what the next stop's going to be. It could be Wivelsfield or it's going to be Burgesshill. It's a semi-fast, but I don't know what the calling pattern is. Where have I been hiding? No, I've not really been streaming a lot recently, Steam Fan Man. you know, I go through these phases. So I think I did a stream last week, which was just on, it was just the Barnstable to Exeter stream. I think if you look at my VODs, you'll see it. Look at that, they've got that wagon there too. In Train Sim World, they had a wagon there. I'm wondering if that's some sort of something to sort of act as like a shield, you know, like if you accidentally try and hit that buffer, you got to hit that wagon first and it'll slow you down. I don't know, it seems to be full up with something anyway. It seems to be full up with things, something in that wagon. I still remember when I went into TSW and I got a Class 66 and took the wagon away from there. I thought, well, I'm fed up with it sitting there every time I drive past it, so I'm going to go into free roam and steal it, so I did. You've been enjoying the virtual DB? Yeah, the virtual railroad add-ons are pretty good actually. On the Barnstable to Strasbourg route. Yeah, they're quite good. I sometimes used to pick them up in the sale, you know, when they had them on sale. Like the 101 and that, the Expert 101 and that they do. They're quite good. I haven't really been getting a lot of TS stuff recently. .3D Zugs, Traffic Pack. Yeah, I don't think I have any of those sort of things. I used to have a lot of the German stuff from Microsoft Train Simulator back in the day, because they used to have pro trains and they used to do a lot of routes there. I used to get a few of those. One I used to like was one where you used to go to Denmark and you used to drive the train. You used to drive the train onto a ferry. If I remember, it was the diesel version of the ice train, and you used to drive it onto the ferry, and then you used to go across to, I think it was Puttgarden in Denmark, but obviously that was like, the train was like the end stop. So you drive onto the ferry and that would be like basically the end of the scenario, or vice versa. You'd start from the ferry and drive into Germany. Right, so we're not stopping at Burgess Hill, so the next stop is Hazard, so we're going to go through Burgess Hill. Very annoys that. So I guess there'll be some trains you drive, and then you have to stop at Three Bridges, but at Burgess Hill, but in this case we don't. It's interesting why we skip Burgess Hill, but there we are. I'm only doing the journey to Brighton for this stream. I'm not doing the return journey. You can do the return journey. It's basically playing a different video. And if you want to, you can also do Gatwick to London, I think, as well. Which is just London Bridge to Gatwick and vice versa the other way. But station approaching, slow down. Overcut this one actually. Yeah, I think I'm going to I'm going to go through it quite quick. Oh dear. Well, never mind. It will put me in the right spot. You watch. It will just zoom me back and put me back into the. Here we go. Video can't compute. Oh, it says proceed to next station. Okay, so I've been penalised. Sorry everyone, we couldn't stop here. You stopped buying tough for TSC now. Yeah, I mean, I'm sort of like the same in a way, Steam fan, man. The only time I ever look at TSC now is if there's a sale on, and then I look to see what they've got on the 80%. To see what they've got on the 80% off stuff, you know. like the 80 or 90% off. A lot of it always tends to be stuff that they've already done at that point, at that price point before though. I'm trying to think what the last AP thing I bought was though. I can't even remember what the last AP thing I bought was. I think it was a wagon pack if I remember. I think. But yeah, that was it. The last thing I bought for Train Sim Classic was the Salisbury to Southampton route that Just Trains were selling. That was the last thing to Train Sim Classic I got. I think it was on the Christmas sale. I think. Oh, the ice cream van is here. So there you go. That's just the trolley on the train. It's the ice cream trolley. Right, next stop is Preston Park. At least I'll get there early. But yeah, I haven't really got anything for TSC apart from that really. Same for Flight Sim though, I haven't really got anything on Flight Sim. The only thing I'm really waiting for now, Flight Sim, is for the 757 to come out. That's the only thing I want to get on Flight Sim now, it's the 75. And of course the stuff for Euro trucks, you know, the next route map for Euro trucks, which is the Nordic one. Don't you mean the child catcher van? I don't know. No idea. I suppose that's the point, isn't it? To catch children so that they can spend their parents' money. That's what happened to me when I was a kid. Whenever the ice cream person come down the road, I'd always run home and then try and tap my mum and dad up for some money to get an ice cream. But that was back in the day when you really didn't have much choice in the supermarkets like you do now. You know, I mean now it's like a lot of people just get ice cream and lollies and that from the supermarkets, don't they? You want a box of Magnums, you get them from the supermarket. Years ago, if you wanted an ice cream, that was really the only place you really could get them from. I mean, you could get some shops that used to sell them ice pop things, and that was about it, wasn't it? If you wanted like a proper 99 and a flake, you can get them from a shop. I think that's the only thing that obviously they have advantage over other outlets, really, isn't it? Is the fact that they can do the 99 and the. Although there is a lot of businesses now that do all that sort of stuff now in shops, don't they? You know, they have all the gear to make all the proper ice cream stuff. Right, anyway, we're at Preston Park. No worries, Dave, thanks for popping in, nice to see you. Get a haircut, yeah, I think I need to do that as well. Caching. Yeah, I think I went past the 8 marker again. Bit of a noob. I think the caching is literally because you're going past where the train stopped in the video, I think that's why. Quite a few people have got off. Still says 84%. No, it's 82%. Heavy, 80%. Depart at 17:11. Probably get a lot of people giving me abuse for not letting them off at Hassocks. They'll now have to wait on the other side to get a train back to Hassocks now, all because of me. New route comes out for Trainson today, which is the Frankfurt S-Bahns route, which has had a lot of interesting discussion already. Over the timetable, where console players have a very reduced timetable compared to the PC lot, so the console players are complaining, saying that they should get the route cheaper because they get less. Will I get that route myself? I'm not sure. At some point probably, but not at the minute. The last thing I bought for Trainson was the cargo line pack number 3, I think it was, with the containers. And the ECML Rail Tour pack, I think, was the other thing I got. But there's been a few things out since, there's been a Dutch route, there's been a Cardiff route. Probably get the Cardiff route in the future if it ends up being reduced quite nicely in a sale. If it's like 50, 60, 70% off like they sometimes do, I might get it. Right, next stop would be Brighton. Where the service and the stream terminate. So thanks for watching the stream, everybody. Sorry about the game title if it's appearing for you, Trainson Classic. I'll have to try and work out where I can change that in Restream. Because, although to be honest, it'll be back to normal service anyway for the next stream, because it'll probably be Trainson World or Trainson Classic anyway. So it'll probably be a while before I stream this one again. Although I'll probably do a stream at some point in the future where I'm doing the journey from Brighton to London Bridge, which I think I have streamed in the past, but I think it just got lost in all the VODs that got deleted, so it's a shame. There's the line going off to Hove on the right there, disappearing off, and then we're going to be going past Lovers Walk Depot shortly as well. I'm just going to keep at 40. No point trying to accelerate. Not sure what platform we'll be going into in Brighton either. Probably platform 5 or 6 at a guess. Not sure. I think it's platform 3 that said. Could be wrong. But it looked like it said on the route indicator 3, so that'd be platform 3 we're going into. Which will be the same every time you play this route, because it's just a video. So you're not going to be going into any other platform. So you could be really clever in about 6 months' time if you played this every day, and you could basically tell all the new people, oh, I think we're going to be going to platform 3, and oh, and there's going to be a couple of people standing by a train as we approach, and a man with a little like wheelie suitcase, a man that's jogging. You could be really clever. Oh, and there's a 313 that leaves as you get in. See, this has actually got a Gatwick Express 387, so this must have been the transition between the 387s and the 442s. Not unless the video from Gatwick to Brighton was a different video, which is possible as well. Although I doubt it though, but can't go through the buffers on here either. And there we go, right. So that's quite cool though, I like that, you know, you can just sort of see the people walking around. It's quite, it gives you a bit of an edge over the sort of passengers that you get on the other thing. There we are. Yes, see, this seems a bit more recent, so I don't know if the bit from Gatwick to Brighton is a different video, but starting from the same platform. But interesting anyway. I seem to have moved a bit as well, because I'm closer to the buffer now. End of service, return, change end, escape, quit. Well, I'm going to obviously come out of here now. So before I go, I'd just like to thank you all for popping in and watching the stream on YouTube and Twitch. Had a few viewers in. Dave, nice to see you. Steam Fan Man on Twitch. Rogue Squadron on Twitch. And Egbert, who was here at the beginning. And then we had... also had Piers as well popping in on YouTube, so thanks for that as well. So yeah, so thanks for watching everyone, and see you all in another stream. Probably be back to usual service on the next stream, either Train Sim Classic or Train Sim World or Euro Trucks or whatever. So yeah, thanks for watching everybody, and take care of yourselves, and see you all in another stream. So bye for now.